Hello everyone, it's me, the Law Boss, back again with another video. And in this video, I'm doing an army review for Age of Sigmar that I'm very passionate about. Slaves of Darkness. So in the making of this video, I recorded it the day before Warhammer Fest, and they announced all the Slaves to Darkness goodness. And when all the leaks came out, and now there's just so much in the book. Like, this army was very easy to play due to its lack of troops choices, or everything being a troops choice, but now there's just so much stuff that I've never even heard of. So this is going to become irrelevant, but like, you know what? I'll make it 2.0 when the book comes out and I get my hands on it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So how does Slaves to Darkness play? They are I would like to say, with their White Dwarf supplement, which will be included in this one, they're a domination army. They're good at overwhelming with not hard hitting, but volume of decent hitting attacks. Very good magic, I would say, second to maybe Seraphon, Lumineth, and they have some of the best magic in the game. I would say Skaven, but with their spells, you've got a chance of blowing up. With this one, your wizards aren't going to explode. I'd say it's top 5 best spell laws easily. As well as having another cheeky supplement. Jeez, I've got so many supplements. With the Dark Master himself, which I'll dedicate to his own video, but I'll still talk about Be'lakor in this video. So, who should be your HQ choice? You got 3 choices. With the Slaves to Darkness, you have four main subfactions. There's Idolators and Hosts of the Empty Throne. Hosts of the Empty Throne, your HQ's Varangard, everything's Varangard, and Idolators is just makes your prayers good on your slaughter, your war shrine, which you don't want to be taking anyway, because they're just not worth it. So you first got Ravages. Ravages give you 5 general traits that you mix and match, and your general changes every turn. That's really good, especially with how the Mark of Chaos system works. How Mark of Chaos system works is, just say the sorcerer on Manticore wants to dedicate himself to Tzeentch. He gains the Mark of Tzeentch. And if he's got warriors or other guys around him, he gives out the Aura of Tzeentch buff. Now, I'm not going to talk about each buff in this video, but essentially, Khorne hits hard, Slaanesh is good against magic, and denying, not doing. The Nurgle is very tanky, and actually can hit surprisingly hard, but not Khorne hard. And Slaanesh is all about speed and volume of attacks, and Undivided is very good for holding down areas due to how you're not breaking them around, you have a cheeky little ward in there. So, your HQ choice for Ravages. Lots of little ones and a big one. So, for example, your big hero could be the Chaos Lord on Karkadrak. He's your hard hitter. He's the one you stack out with the buffs. So you give him things like Bolstered by Hate, which is good, but I would give that to a smaller hero. Great warlord traits from the what do they call Ravages easily have to be Favored of the Pantheon, where your Eye of the Gods triggers really well. You can choose the +2 or -2, so if you turn into a spawn, you'll be like, nope, I want to get weapon damage increase, or you roll the 10, nah, I'm a Demon Prince now. Eternal Vendetta, you hit hard against Order, just Order, but that's fine. And you do mortal wounds on 6s to hit. There's some good command traits for your big man. Then there's nice little ones like +2 wounds. You can add the double or forward to victory your cultists, which you're summoning for free. Ravages not only get the cheeky little warlord traits, they also have a command ability that each hero can use once per game, where you summon a squad of 10 Marauders, 5 Marauder Horsemen, or a squad of cultists, which with the new buffs and the White Dwarf giving them Marks of Chaos, Ravages are actually really good now. They used to be, I'd say, mid-tier. They were nothing to Despoilers, but now I'd say that they're probably at the same level as Despoilers. Artifacts of Power, they've just got good hard-hitting ones. They're all about your heroes hitting hard, and they kind of play like 40k Alpha Legion, but all your heroes gain general traits. And it helps you with your general aura of the Mark of Chaos spreading around. So like, just say one turn, you'll wipe it out on one side of the board. He's not going to give out the buff, so you just change the general. Next up, with Ravages, you don't get Demon Princes. None at all. It will completely shut it out. So you don't run Demon Princes, Mortals is the way to go. Kabbalists Wizards. This is a very difficult one to play because you need to dedicate a good chunk of your army to chaff units, because your binding rituals do not do D3 mortal wounds, they just kill D3 models. So if you've got 3 Varangard and you roll a 6, cool, that unit's gone. Whereas compared to Marauders, oh no, 3 Marauders died. It's not a biggie. That just usually buffs your spell casting abilities. I think there's one way you can cast another spell. Yep, and add 1 to casting rolls, and you can get bonuses for dispelling endless spells. Once again, your HQ for this one is this man, Manticore Lord. He can keep up with all your forces. He hits like a truck. With his Whirlwind to Chaos spell, you're mincing anything. And good ones are like you heal with your binding rituals, which makes him even harder to kill. Especially with new, he used to be average. You want to take like just a Demon Prince, but now the fact with all the heroic actions, mate, he's very hard to get rid of. And monstrous rampages. And then they just have lots of spell things. Spell Familiar is the best relic because you get 2 spells from the already great Lore of the Damned. Amazing spell lore. You get just a flat 3 mortal wounds, but if it's unbound, you take 3. But you just can block them on a 5-up. You also get a redeploy, but instead it's like a Veil of Darkness with Necrons. Super good. All around just great spells. Buff your monster, buff your hero, make something -1 a wound. It's just so good. Next up, the one I play, just spoilers. There's only one general you take, and it's your Demon Prince. I know that there's a new Demon Prince on the way, but I don't time travel. Your Demon Prince, this is just all about making him the biggest of the chungus. He is the hammer and the anvil. He gets a 5-up ward. He turns terrain to hellholes, quite literally. And on a 4+, you regen D3 mortal wounds. That stacks with your monsters. This guy, who you might chuck in for some magic, starts healing in just an heroic recovery. You become pretty hard to get off the board with these guys. There's a pre-game move, which I always take. You chuck it on your knights, they're getting turn 1 charges. All around, I don't even need to really go through this. Everything in this one is good. +1 save, re-roll saves. All around great. Host of the Everchosen is just running Archaeon, and your army gets bonuses like Battle Shock Immunity. No general traits. Your Varangard get cheeky little buffs. That is more a 2,000 point, but this is more about getting started, and I do not know many people who are going to start with a 2,000 point army. But if you want to, just buy Archaeon. Not that hard. Now, where would I start? What box set would I purchase? Slaves of Darkness start collecting. You get the Karkadrak Lord, one of your best HQs in the Battle Tome. You get new sculpted Chaos Warriors. Look at these. Beautiful miniatures. I will actually get a painted one out because I don't want to show that on screen. That fella. Beautiful miniature. And you get 10 of those. They're monopose, so if you do rebuy, there's helmetless heads, so it does add variation, but they're monopose, just heads up. And then you get 5 of, honestly, one of the best units in the Battle Tome, Chaos Knights. These things are cheap Varangard that hit like a truck. It is stupid how hard these guys hit for their points. Although, if you don't play them correctly, you're either just new, don't know how to play the army, or just got really bad luck. So, what are some faction abilities? There's one more, Eyes of the Gods. That is one thing you gotta watch for. This man kills a monster or a hero in melee. You roll 2d6. And there are results ranging from Spawndom, where you turn into a spawn. No effects at all. Summoning lesser demons, a squad of 10, unless you're Zinch. It's dedicated to your mark. It's all set out there for you. Including into turning into a Demon Prince for free. You just die, but you're not counted as dying. You die, all your relics, everything go into the sky. And if he was a wizard, your Demon Prince becomes a wizard. It's so funny. But the one issue I see with Slaves of Darkness heroes, apart from the big mounted ones who you don't want to be turning into Demon Princes, they're not the greatest. And where would I go from the start collecting? I would recommend just buying 2 of those, trying to sell this guy off, or I'm sure there is a way, if you're in casual play, you could switch him out for a Chaos Law and Demonic Mount. I'm sure everyone would be fine, and I think with the new model size, he's about the size anyway. For single boxes, I would recommend a Chaos Sorcerer. You need your magic. The magic for Chaos is great, and then I would recommend getting a Demon Prince if you're going down the Despoilers path. If not, just buy maybe a little heroes like the Exalted Champion. You can just make one, things like that. Now, what would I not recommend? There are a few boxes I wouldn't recommend. First off, I can't. The Warcry teams are now very. They can be good, but you have to dedicate to a cultist army, which is very hard to get into because there's no start collecting, and they're also very difficult to play and quite fiddly, because there's no army synergy. It's not like how you can have this guy, some warriors, and some knights all do something. They're very, very fiddly and quite squishy for that matter. I wouldn't recommend to start, but at the end of the day, it's really cool, but they're quite fiddly to play for a beginner. I also wouldn't recommend any of the Ever Chosen for beginners. They're kind of their own sub-faction in their own right. They're very good, but they're very expensive. They die relatively quickly as well to focus fire. The Vanguard are very weak to mortal wounds. Not mortal wounds put them down. So I would not recommend the Ever Chosen once you get the feel of the army. And also, I would not recommend Marauders for a beginner. Once they have the same issue as Cultists, fiddly to play, very squishy. I would say they're more of a unit you get when you want to fill points out. Because a squad of 10 Marauders is 90 points, and they can do some work, like hold a backline objective. But they're very fiddly. A lot of people I've seen when playing them charge them up and they just get torn apart by literally anything, especially Stormcast and Idenith, which are the current meta. And one more thing I would recommend, getting the Chaos Warrior box, the standard one, not the little one, and getting the Halberds. Convert them into Chaos Chosen. Those things are stupid. They are practically your Chaos Knights on foot for your hammer. They have all the Mark of Chaos stuff. They make your stuff better in fighting, giving them rerolls. And all around, yeah. So, to conclude, 2 start collectings will get you a nice army, and maybe either sell this guy off or trade him, or run him as a Chaos Law and Demonic Mount, and then a Wizard. How would I rate this army for beginners? If you're good at learning games, very easy. They're a very easy army to pick up. If you're not great at learning armies or you're first in the Sigma, I would recommend not them. If you want to go Chaos, be my guest, go with whatever you want. But if you want to win a couple games and you want to learn how Chaos as a whole feels, they're a great starter army. They give you a little taste of all the Chaos factions. Maybe not Nurgle, because Nurgle had a huge change, but this, although it can be difficult to, get on your feet, still a great army to play. And not gonna lie, the aesthetic of spiky evil knights can appeal to a lot of people. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, everyone. I hope you liked it. So like and subscribe. I'm doing another Kill Team video next, so take a guess what that is in the comments if you want. But yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.